Hello my friends, my name's Darren from RC Skill Models, and today we have another kit review. This is a 1/35 scale kit from Academy. It's their Panzer III J, the African campaign or African tank. It's the 50 year anniversary type one as well. Pretty cool. It's a new kit. We have this stuff on the side, pictures of the finished model, nicely done. We need to get some photo etch. The tracks inside I believe are plastic, which is what I like. As a kit number, we have 13531. They're all African campaign schemes inside this kit. You've got all your colours required, or manufacturers they recommend. Guns, Humbrol, Life Colour, Val, Vallejo, AK Interactive, the usual suspects. Inside the box, you got your worksheet, several plastic parts. We check what we got. Okay, this is what we have for paper. We've got your standard decals. We have all the numbers for the serial numbers for the tanks and the iron crosses or crosses. The tiny bit of photo etch is for your grills, the standard stuff. As for your worksheet, standard from Academy. I do know this is their new style. They've changed it up slightly, a bit like Airfix with the red segments. So your first section is the lower hull. This is all your parts required, and this is the build up for the lower chassis. So the floor, front, rear, sides, and two structural parts. Attaching all your suspension arms, exhaust, and engine parts like side parts, more suspension arms, transmission case, the usual for building the tank. Comes the road wheels, drive sprocket, return rollers, the standard. Pretty much two halves going together. Pretty simple build so far. As for the tracks, like I mentioned, they're all link-on-link tracks, which is a nice touch. You get this long piece and a long piece for the top, but you get some several parts and single parts for the actual curve. So it's pretty simple. You see here, the blue is one long piece, the two reds are singles, and so forth. Once the tracks have been built, this section here is the front glacier, side skirts, fenders. Then it's the box section for the upper structure, and your turret will sit in the hole. So again, it's four sides and the top piece. Don't forget to cut out the structural part in the middle because the turret won't fit. Turn your attention to the front glacier. You get extra armour plating, spare tracks. I'll put all that on the end. These are structural arms for the attached to the side skirt. These are more fenders. We've got a toolbox and tools. All these tools I'd leave to the end. This is how I do mine. Here and here is two different layouts of how you want your tools. Again, repeating the same process on the other side with the structural parts, and then more tools and spare tracks. Again, you get two options of how you want to lay it out. The rear of the tank, there is a massive hole, so you could probably detail it up and put an engine in if you wish to do so, but you don't get an engine with this kit, but you can do that. This is the rear of the tank again, exhaust pipes, and this is some and cover to go over the exhaust pipes. Underneath is where your photo etch goes, and some photo etch light chain segments. This is your engine cover. This is part of the engine cover as well, with the tow cables. Tow cables are moulded as plastic pieces. It's such a tricky shape the way they fold it up, so it's okay in plastic. I think it's fine. As I say, the engine deck going down, this is all done. Turning your attention to the turret. You've got the turret ring, two sides, and the actual turret piece as well. It's quite simple. Have the gun mantlet, 3 pieces, and an extra piece on the front. Your gun is slide molded, I believe. Gun breech, and then attaching it to the turret when it's all done. Hatches open or closed, pretty standard. We have your turret basket. You can only have it closed, I believe. I don't think you can have it open in this kit. Commander's cupola, hatches open or closed, again as standard. We have this extra armour plating over the front of the gun mantlet. That is optional, I believe, for the armour plating. You don't have to use it. Putting your turret down. Here they are saying there is a little bit of photo etch. Number PE, this long piece goes around the turret, around the hatch. And the first scheme, which is the one from the box art, tank number 221, is in the desert camouflage, which is, as I say, I believe the colours for this is RAL 8000, which is like a dark Dunkelgelb yellow, and RAL 7008, which is like another darker Dunkelgelb, which is a more grey green colour. If you've ever seen Tiger 131 in the Tank Museum at Bovington, that's done in this camouflage, so it's the same scheme as that. We have this one here, which is in a later version, which is done in RAL 7027, which is a light Dunkelgelb, and then RAL 8020, which is another Dunkelgelb type one, which is a little bit darker, which gives this type of pattern, and then it goes back to the original colour, which is the early version of the Afrika paint scheme, which I mentioned before, which is the same as Tiger 131 colours, which is the RAL 8000 and RAL 7008. And then these two schemes again are the same pattern, but just different markings. And on the back is your sprue map. These pieces down here, all the parts are not needed, which is quite a few actually. As for the plastic, I've built Academy's aeroplanes and stuff before, but I've never built one of their tanks. So pretty cool. This is sprue C, and so here is the turret, nicely done. We have part of the gun mantlet, extra plating. Here's part of the gun mantlet, the hatches, the sides of the turret where the hatches will go. Here's another gun mantlet piece, part of the commander's hatch. Here's part of your turret basket up the top here. Here's the lid for the turret basket. Here is for part of the gun mantlet again, and these parts are part of the turret. Here's another part of the hatch, and there's the actual hatch lids, as I call them. Pretty standard stuff. Nicely done. So we have 2 sprues in this bag, and we have sprue B, again nicely done. So here we have the engine deck, or engine cover as I call it. It's quite smooth plastic, there is no texture, so if you want to make that rolled steel texture, you're going to have to do that yourself. But here's the part where the turret goes. These are slide molded parts. These are for the side of the tank. Tools, hatches. This is part of the side skirt. It's got that diamond plating, anti-slip texture on it. Here's the front of the tank. More tools. These parts of the fenders, and more side skirts. Again, it has that anti-slip texture on it. You can feel it. It's nicely done. This is sprue D, and this is the machine gun MG. This is part of the turret. Another gun mantlet pieces. I think these are the extra armour pieces. We have more slide molded parts. These are again on the back of the tank, so there's 2 different types. Remember, some parts are not needed, so I'm not going to go through it all. But we have these extra armour plates. Part of the exhaust, 1/2. I think this is part of the cleaning rod. It's part of tools. There's 2 sprues in this one. This is sprue E. It's a small sprue. So this, again, we've got another gun mantlet. It looks like there's probably several versions coming out then, for them to have several parts quite similar. Here's another hatch section. So you see you've got two different types. Here's your tow cable assembly. Here's more hatch assembly. This is the outside. These segments here. Got these parts. You've got your jack block. Here's your slide molded gun. We do get 2 types of gun in this actually. We've got the long and short version. So there is definitely other versions coming out down the line. And we have some auto cable, a different type of pattern. So yeah, so definitely different versions coming out for sure. This is sprue A. This is pretty much the chassis section now. So here's the insides. Here's the outside, which is all the detail. Pretty nice and clean, crisp. There is some weld seams moulded in, which is nicely done. So here's the side of the vehicle where the suspension will be sitting. Nicely done. As for the other side, just reversed. And then we have the back of the tank, and then we have the glaciers. And again, I think this is the driver's and gunner's hatch part of their section. These 2 pieces here are the structural parts inside the lower chassis. And so this is sprue A. I have 2 sprues in this bag which are identical. So we only need to show you one. Okay, where were we? Say this is sprue G. This is the length of track that goes at the bottom. These are your return rollers, drive sprocket. We've got some more tools. Transmission cover casing part here. And a couple of small detail parts. Now here we get 4 sprues the same, because these contain the tracks and wheels. So I'm only going to open one bag and I'm only going to need 1 sprue. So say there's 4 of these and it is sprue H. So we have all the wheels, road wheels, nicely done. I don't know how well you can see that. There is some kind of writing on there. I think it says Goodyear, if I'm not mistaken. Here's part of your tow cable if you wish to do it that way. But I noticed there is no string in the kit, but you do get the end. So you're going to have to source some string or cable or whatever, but you do get the ends for it, strangely enough. And then here are all the parts of the track. So you're going to have to cut them off, a couple of swipes. And I imagine they'll just, not clip together, but a little dab of glue should be okay. Here's another piece of track. Here's part of the suspension arms. It is nicely done. The smaller wheels are the return rollers. And up the top as well. Again, these ones have got the writing on there. Can barely make out what that says on there. And then we have these covers. Pretty standard stuff. So there you go, my friends. There's another kit from Academy, 1/35 scale, Panzer III from the North Africa. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.